Hey everybody, Heather here. So today we're going to be coloring this super cute Magnolia image called Tilda with Love. Isn't she adorable? Totally cute. I'll put a link down in the description box to the supplies I use and to the card kit. There are lots of things in the store, from Copic markers to dies to paper to embellishments, snapbooks. I would love to have you come shop with me, so come give it a try. So I've already stamped my image on Nina 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image, and for that I'm going to use B_0 and my colorless blender. And I'm just going to start with my B_0, and I'm going to go all the way around my image quickly. So I'm just going to do a quick swirl all the way around her. Up here, she's got a couple little spaces that are in between her hair here that is actually the background. And get those, go around her little cute little swirly there for her hair. And if you do the outlining first, then you don't have to worry about getting it. If you get it onto your image, you can use your colorless blender to erase it. I usually don't worry about it too much because it's a pretty light color, and after you get it on there, you don't. Most of the colors I use over the top cover it up. But if you are worried, you can go over it with your colorless blender and just erase it right off of her. Go all the way back down here to the other side, and then she's got a little patch right here between her neck and her hairline there. Then I'm going to grab my colorless blender, and right here in the middle I'm just going to flick right over my line right into the middle to cover that up. And then I'm going to go down here. And see, I love doing it this time too, because you can go touch your image. You don't have to worry about getting it on her. But I'm just laying my colorless blender down on top of my girl and then flicking out away from my line past where I painted the blue. Just softening that edge up. And then after I got the girl all done, I took my cloud template and some tumbled glass distress ink and a sponge stopper and made some clouds in the background. And the cloud template can be found on the store blog on the left-hand sidebar. Next, let's give her something to stand on, and for the ground I'm going to use E27, E17, E15, and E13. I'm going to start with my E27. And let's go right underneath of her feet first to start. And then I want to bring it up just a little bit. So I'm trying to be careful not to get it on her boots or on her, because it's a pretty dark color and we're going to color her boots a light gray, and so I don't want to get it. It'll be hard to erase. And I might bring it out down here just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go with E17. I'm just going to add color right over the top of that. And then E15. And you can go as far out or as small of an area as you would like. And then I take my E13 last. And then I like to go back afterwards with my darkest color, which is E27, and just add that back in just a little bit. Now let's work on our skin, and for that we're going to use E13, E11, E01, E00, E000, and for our cheeks we're going to use R22, R20, and R30. I'm going to start with my E13. I'm going to add a little bit of that, start down here on her legs. I'm going to add a tiny dab of that right along the edge of her leg there, here, and then she's got this little knee bump that I'm going to go over a little bit. Same for this leg. Let's go down the inside. And I'm using just the tip of my pen so I just get a little bit of color. And I'm going to go with E11. And we want to touch down on top of our E13 and pull away from it. Bring this color out a little bit more. And then go over my knee bump. I'm going to grab E01. And bring this one out just a little bit more. E00. And then E000 to go all the way across. And let's go up here and do her arms. So again, I'm going to start with E13. I'm going to go underneath of her sleeve and down next to this flower here. And then her arms kind of is bent there, the crook, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a dash of line in there for her elbow. And over here, we're going to do a little bit right in the crease. And let's do a little bit on her neck too to get that started. We're going to go with E11. E01. I'm going to fill this side in. Same for her neck. Let's go ahead and get this arm too. There's not very much left there. But I'm going to go ahead and take my E00 and go over that again. Even though I've already filled it in, I'm going to use it just to blend the colors together a little bit more. Okay, and then for her face, I'm going to start with my E13 again. So let's go up here, and I'm going to go along her hairline. Let me turn her a little bit here. So go along her hairline. And she's got a few little spots, wispy spots in her bangs that the skin is showing. And then I'm going to go, I'd say right there where her neck starts. And I'm going to bring my color around over here to her bangs again. And then I'm going to grab E11. And I'm going to go all the way across over on this side this time. And then of course I want to go over my line. And I'm extending it just a little bit. And let's do the bottom crook of her ear there. Then I'm going to go with E01. E00. E000. And I'm not worried that it looks blotchy because I'm going to put the cheek colors on and then I'm going to add some more color. So let's grab our 22 for our cheek. And I want to do this side. And then let's do in here. And then our 20. Our 30. Just to cover that, to go over the edges there. Soften those up. Okay, and then I'm going to skip my E13 and I'm going to go with E11. And I'm just going to add this color back in just a little bit. And then E01. E00. And then I go for the whole thing with my E000. And then you can decide after you get it all done if you want to darken her cheeks back up, and then I would go over them again. I think mine are looking pretty good, so I'm going to leave them like that. Moving on to the hair, we're going to use E44, E43, E42, and E41. I'm going to start with my E44. And let's go ahead and start on this pigtail over here. So I'm going to go ahead and start where her little pigtail wrapper is, where her bow is, and pull some of this color away from that bow. And I think I'll bring this line out just a little bit more. And I try to keep my swooshes going in the direction that the hair is going. So she's got some great lines on here already that I'm just following. And then I want to go down here at the bottom where it's kind of tucking underneath and pull away from that flower or the edge of her dress. Give me a little line there to sit on. And then down here, she's got a little bit of her curl showing, so I'm going to add some color down here. Just a little dab. Okay, so up here by the top of her ponytail, let's go ahead and add some of our color up here. And then same for down at the back. And then let's go with her part up here. And then we'll start this side. And there's not too much there on this little side of her ponytail. So I'm going to try to keep my my strokes really small. And then she's got a little bit over here that's showing in between her or the little bow there. And we add some underneath of the bow and where it's coming out from behind the flower. And we're going to skip down here, and then right in here she's got the flower petal, but right in between the flower and the stick is a little bit of her hair showing. And then underneath the stick. And then down here at the end of her pigtail. Then we're going to grab E43, and let's go ahead and start back over here on this side. And we just want to add some color in. So again, you want to bring your streaks down the direction the hair is going. And then don't forget this little bitty, I got a little bit of color left for a little bit of area for color down here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And just work our way around here. And then I'm going to grab E42. And a little bit of white space there at the top, so I'm going to fill that in. And then E41 to fill it in. And you can also leave some white in there if you so desire. I usually don't, but I think I'll leave some this time. She's looking kind of cute. Then I'm going to grab my E44 again and let's go do her bangs. I'm just going to go right along the top of her bangs, add some streaks. And then I like to go from the bottom of the bangs up. And then E43. And just work my way along, add some color. E42. And then E41. And then after I have it all done, I like to go back with my E44 and add some more, some of the darker shadows in. Let's just work my way along here and just add some of that dark color back in there. And I'm going to add some down here underneath our flower leaf. Don't forget right there. And I think I'll actually put a little bit right here underneath of this where her hair is coming out from behind. Let's go do her hair ribbons and her dress next, and for that we're going to use R89, R85, R83, R81, and RV10. So I'm going to start up here with her hair bows, and I'm going to use R89 first. So let's give the center of the bow just a little dab down at the bottom. And then for each of these little bows, I'm going to give them a little bit of a streak. And she's got a little piece of hair right here in between the bows that's showing that I missed. So I'm going to take my E44 and just cover that in real quick. Next, I'm going to take my R85. And we just want to add some more color. R83. I'm going to color the center of that bow all the way in. And this one's got a little bit more room. and then R81, and then RV10 over the whole thing. Cute. And let's go down here and do her bottom of her dress next. So again, I'm going to grab R89. And she's got some little spots already there for us on her dress. I'm just going to kind of go use those and just do up here in the crevices just a little bit. Like that. Maybe a little bit back here. And I'm going to go with my R85. And I'm going to touch down on top of that color I just laid down and extend just a little bit. But I want to bring my pink all the way across the bottom of her apron now. And then next, R83. Same thing, we want to touch down on the last color and pull down away from it so you got a little bit more of your white I'm not showing. And then R81. And then I want to go over that whole area with my RV10. And let's go up here and do her sleeves and her bodice. So again, start with your R89. R85. Bring this color down along that side. R83. R81. And then fill it in with RV10. Next, let's do the center of our apron and our flower, and for that we're going to use Y26, Y08, Y06, and Y02. So I'm going to start with Y26, and I'm going to do her apron first. Just going to go on the edge there, and then she's got some great little ruffles or wrinkles right here already for me, so I'm going to use those. Next I'm going to go with Y08, and I want to go right over the top of that. Last color. And just bring it down a little bit more. And then Y06. And then Y02. And then if you want to make it darker, go over it a second time. So then let's go up here and do her flower. And for that, again, I'm going to start with my Y26. And I'm going to start back here on this back petal. And I just want to use this color down here towards the bottom. And she's got a couple little wrinkles right there in the flower. I'm going to use this color on. And then here's the center of her flower. And again, there's a couple of lines right here I'm going to use. And let's do, and use those lines. And just get this petal a little bit. Then we're going to go with Y08. I'm going to color the bottom of that one in a little bit. There wasn't too much room left. And I just want to go over that previous color and pull past just a little bit. Y06 next. And then go over the whole thing with Y02. And I had a little brown from her hair right there and worked perfect. Pushed it right off of that petal. So as long as we're working on the flower, let's do the leaves next. So let's do G28, G21, and G20. So I'm going to take my G28 first. And I'm going to say the leaves are going to start right here. And then there's some great little lines there on my leaf already. I'm just going to give each leaf a little dab of my dark green. Then I'm going to grab G21 next. And go right over that previous color. And extend past into my white just a little bit. I'm going to take G20 just to fill it all the way in. Now I'm going to say I want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to start again with my G28. G21. And then my G20 to swirl over the whole thing. So let's do the branch, and for that we're going to use E77, E74, and E71. So I'm going to start with my E77. I'm going to go right next to her skirt, and then the bottom of my branch, right here. And then for this side, I'm going to do again right next to her shirt. And then let's do, there's a little line on here, so I'm going to follow that. I'm going to do the same thing for up here. She's got a couple of little lines on the branch that I'm just going to color over. Then I'm going to grab E77. Let's add a little bit of that. And I picked these colors because they're kind of a purpley color, and I wanted them to be different than her hair. So this is E71 to fill it in. So when you got up here next to her hair right here, you could see the branch instead of it being a dark brown. So that leaves us with the ruffle on her apron and her boots and the collar on her dress. For that, we're going to use C5, C3, C1, and C00. So I'm going to start with my C5, and let's do the collar of her dress up here. So I'm going to go with a very light line right next to her bodice. And then for her skirt, or her apron, I'm going to go right next to the yellow. And then I'm going to give each of these little cute wrinkles she's got there, or pleats in her, that the artist drew on for me, a little dab of color. Okay, then I'm going to grab C3. I want to add a little bit of that up here at the top. And then same thing for down here. We want to pull this color away a little bit. And just softening that edge. And I think I'll also take this color and add it into a couple of these little ruffles she's got down here. So I'm just going to pull that around and give them a little bit of shadow underneath. And maybe this one a little bit. And then I'm going to grab C1. And add some color up here at the top. And then we want to go down here and brush right over that line. And bring that color, soften that line. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this color out to the edge. Okay, and then C00. I'm going to go ahead and just go all over the complete over the top here. Just kind of scrub it around a little bit. And then down here I just want to fill in my ruffle. And I'm going to go back over it this way just to soften my lines a little bit more. Okay, for her boots, let's go ahead and start again with our C5. Add some shadow in here. Add some wrinkles to her boot. Over the top of her boot here. And I'm going to bring this across and over to this side. And then she's got a couple little wrinkles right here I want to add in. And again, we'll bring this down to her sole. Come across. That. And then C3. Right over the top of that last color. Just want to soften that edge. C1. And C00 to fill it in. I'm going to go back over this side one more time. Just soften that lines on my boot there a little bit more. So there is our Tilda with Love all colored up. Doesn't she look fabulous? I love her. I love her little ponytail, so cute. And then again, here is the finished card. And up here you can see where I added the clouds with my cloud template and my distress ink. And if you haven't watched the video on how to do that, I do have a separate video that shows me making these clouds up here, so you can go watch that if you need some help. I added some Spica glitter pen to her hair in clear, and some Stickles Stardust to this cute little flower here. And then I also added my my Sharpie white paint pen. I put a little dot on her cheek, and make sure that when you add that you shake it with the lid on before you put it on, because it will spray everywhere. I'll put a link to the card kit in the description box below if you'd like to head over to the store and grab the kit. And remember, there are other things there. If you don't like kits, feel free to browse and see what else you can find. If you have a question, please leave me a comment and I will get back to you. I'd love to answer your questions. And thanks for coloring with me today. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.